Hello, hello. Welcome back to Math Made Possible. I believe I can. I'm your current teacher, Miss Howard, and today we're going to be using the fifth grade illustrative math curriculum to review Unit 2, Lesson 9, and this is going to be a summary. All right, today we're going to be solving problems about multiplying whole numbers by fractions. All right, so we have four images here. So let's go ahead and break down what each of these images could equal. So these brackets are very important, students, because this basically tells you what this equals. So this area, let me get a highlighter. This area right here is one whole unit. So 1 unit fraction. Remember going back to what we did before with our snap cubes? This is 1. And as you can see at the top, it says the total number is 6. Well, if we could double check that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer for this would be 6. You could also write 6 wholes. Okay, next one. Let me finish writing this. I tell you, students, one day I am going to get a handle on this writing tool. 6 wholes. All right. Let's look at this. Let's look at B. So this tells you that this side is not represented by, it's not 1 whole, but it's 1/2. All right. But this whole area across is 6. So we have 6 shaded halves. So if I were to write an expression for this, I could write 6 times 1/2. Because I have 1/2 twice. And we know from our lesson previously that all we have to do is put a 1 underneath the 6 and multiply straight across, and our final answer would be 6/2. Well, what do we know about 6/2? How many groups of 2 can I make in 6 if we were to do this with long division? Let's show that out. 6. We can make 3 groups of 2 in 6. Let me make that 6 a little bit better. Hopefully you can see it like that. Here's a visual representation of what you can do. If I had this portion shaded right here, I could take it and shade it down here. And I could take this portion right here and I could shade it down here. And I take this portion that's right here and I could shade it down here. Now let me go ahead and cross out the ones that we don't have anymore. So let's change that to red. We don't have red. So again, this is what we did. We crossed this one out, not necessarily crossed it out, but we pretty much moved it down here. We crossed this one out. So this no longer exists right there, but we moved it right here. And we crossed this one out and we moved it right here. So you should be able to see 3 wholes. So again, let's write that. That would be 3 wholes. So 6 times 1/2 would equal 3. Now let's take a look at this one. Now this one is not a whole, it's going to be 1/3. And this time I'm going to write it the opposite way. I'm going to write it 1/3. That would be represented 6 times. And again, I'm going to put a 1 underneath the whole number to make it a fraction. Multiply straight across. 1 times 6, that is 6. And 3 times 1, that is 3. And we ask ourselves, how many groups of 3 can I make in 6? Well, I know that I can make 2. Let's go ahead and see if we could show that using our strategy that we did over here. We're just moving our pieces over. Okay, so we need 2 pieces moved over. 1, 2 to make a whole. Let's cross those 2 pieces out. That's crossed out and that's crossed out. All right, and we basically moved that one right there, and we moved this one right there. That made 1 whole. Now we have a piece right here. We're going to move this one right here. And we're going to move this one down here. Let's shade. So that would be that. That would be that. And as you can see, here is our two holes. We have one hole right there and one hole right there. That equals a value of 2. All right, now let's take a look at our last one. This one is not going to be one whole. It's not going to be 1/2, and it's not going to be 1/3. It's going to be 1/4. So this one, let's go ahead and use the same strategy of drawing first. We're going to move that fourth over. We're going to move that fourth over. And we're going to move that fourth over. Now we filled that up. That's one hole right there. But guess what? I don't have enough to move over to make another hole. So I am going to write 1 and 2/4, 2/4. Now let me also write this using our expression. Let's change our color. Let's make it blue. So we have 1/4. And again, our number that we have at the top is 6. So we have 1/4 represented 6 times, or 6 copies of 1/4. That's our whole number. And we are going to make our whole number a fraction by adding a 1 as a denominator. We're going to multiply straight across. That equals 6/4. And again, I ask myself, how many groups of 4 can I make in 6? And that would equal 1 whole with 2 left over, 2/4. And for my advanced students, you should also know that 2 is half of 4, so we can represent it as 1 and 1/2. That's for advanced thinking. If you're able to see that, that's great. So that would be 2 and 1/4 for that final image. Okay, hopefully that helped. All right, guys, that ends our lesson for today. I will be attaching this fraction vocabulary sheet in the description section, as well as a teacher pay teacher lesson or worksheet that I have created that gives you real life application practice. You could share that with your parents. I do thank you so much for watching. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe so you can see when I post new videos, as well as it helps our channel be able to be seen by other students who want to learn how to solve fractions. All right, see you in our next video. Take care.